Exclamation plateau.
Roanoke is in the Valley and Ridge region of Virginia, right next to the Blue Ridge Mountains. We'll start on Mill Mountain, the site of the famous Roanoke Star.
Hey boys and girls, I'm David.
And I'm Alfonso.
And I'm Brad.
And I'm Frank.
And we're Virginia Trekkers. And we're here today in Roanoke, Virginia, the Star City of the South.
We're standing in front of the world's largest man-made star.
We're going to take you on a trip with a lot of different places here in the Blue Ridge region.
If you're ready to get going, we're going to come back here at night so you can check out this crazy star at night. But if you're ready to get going, it's a long way down, fellas. We're 1,000 feet above Roanoke right now. But I think we're ready.
Let's
ready?
do it.
Here we go!
Hey boys and girls! We're here in the wintertime, and you notice the trees, that most of the leaves are off. What do we call that? Deciduous. Very good. But you notice we still have a few trees that are green. Those are evergreens. Remember that for your science. I gotta climb back uphill.
Hey boys and girls, this is Brad. I'm standing up here in Roanoke. As you can see, here's a great view of the Roanoke Valley. You can also see there are trains that actually go through the city just like in Richmond. This is the largest metropolitan city in Western Virginia. And as you can see, there are houses and places that people have settled right in here in the valley. And if you were wondering where the name Roanoke came from, just like the Trekkers, the word Roanoke means shelf in the Algonquian language.
The Indians who lived in this area used shells for money, and they got the shells from the Roanoke River, which flows right through the city of Roanoke. At that time, there wasn't a city, though. Here you can see the Roanoke River and the Mountain Star, and see the Red Road? That's where we're headed next.
We're here at the Blue Ridge Parkway. The Blue Ridge Parkway is a road that goes along the Blue Ridge Mountains. It has some beautiful overlooks, which we're going to show you. So come on!
Here's one of the awesome overlooks we found along the Blue Ridge Parkway. You can see why they're called the Blue Ridge Mountains. As we were walking along one of the overlooks, we looked down and saw some deer grazing for grass below. We wanted to get some close-up shots of the deer, but every time we tried to get close, they ran away. So Alfonso tried to come up with a solution.
Hey boys and girls. I'm trying to camouflage myself. That means to try to be where I can't be seen. Because we're going to try to sneak up on some of the wildlife to see if we can show it to you. It's kind of hard to do this. You gotta be real quiet. Come on.
You saw Alfonso trying to camouflage himself over there in the grass. And look right here, you can see another clue that there's been animals here. This is what you call a game trail. This trail, the little cut in the grass here, was not made by people. This is made by the animals traveling through this grass every night, probably around the same time, and then back again in the morning to where they find shelter during the day. And at night they come out when it's safer for them to eat. They come out here into the open parts of the land and eat grasses, berries, whatever they need to survive out here in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
And boys and girls, you learn about change over time and past and present. Well, a lot of times trails start off this way as animal trails, and then people start following, like the Indians and the early settlers would follow the animal trails, and then as time went on, those trails turned into roads that you have today.
The Trekkers are back on the road, headed to visit with the mayor of Roanoke, who's going to talk more about the history of this city.
Hey boys and girls, this is Brad. We are extremely lucky today because we have a special guest with us here with the Trekkers. This is Mr. Nelson Harris, and he's also the mayor here in Roanoke, and he's also a pastor. He's got a lot of great experience working with people here in the city, and we're going to ask him a couple questions just so he can bring some of Roanoke to your classroom. You guys are studying in your history that the Germans and Scotch-Irish settled along this area of Virginia. And can you tell us a little bit about that? Do you know
Well, Roanoke was along what was called the Great Wagon Road. And the Great Wagon Road started up around Stanton. Actually, it started up in Pennsylvania, but it came through Stanton, kind of along where present-day I-81 is, came through Roanoke, or Big Lake at the time, and then went down into North Carolina. So a lot of the Scotch-Irish and German settlers, that some of them originated in Pennsylvania, some of them came directly to Virginia, traveled along that, what's called, again, the Great Wagon Road, and a number of them, settled here. So the first settlers, white settlers in Roanoke, in the Roanoke Valley, were Scotch-Irish and were German predominantly because of that road. And at that time, we were very small. We only had like maybe a couple thousand people. Our original name was Big Lick. Big Lick was called that because there were large salt deposits. And so there was some salt mining that went on, and animals kind of came into, kind of in a bowl surrounded by mountains, and so animals would come down and kind of lick, the salt and whatnot. So anyway, that's how Big Lick came about. And the railroad decided to headquarter itself here. And so the president of the railroad communicated back to the town leaders and said, happy to be there, but we don't want our headquarters to be in a place called Big Lick. So he said, you need to change the name of your town. You're in Roanoke County, you're along the Roanoke River, call yourselves Roanoke. So that's how we got our name, that's kind of how we grew and developed, and I can honestly say it's much better to say you're the mayor of Roanoke than the mayor of Big Lick.
Like Mayor Nelson said, the railroad had an important role in the growth of Roanoke after the Civil War. When the Norfolk and Western Railway changed its headquarters from Lynchburg to Roanoke, it started transporting coal from the Pocahontas coal mines in the Appalachian Plateau region, and this led to the growth of Roanoke as a city.
Well, boys and girls, we hope you enjoyed our visit of Roanoke.
And learn lots of information about this great city.
We've had a special guest, and we hope you enjoyed it.
We've learned a lot of great things about the city and a lot of history about the city of Roanoke.
And boys and girls, we were glad to visit with you. Keep on learning, keep on trekking.
All right.